Good afternoon, everyone. It is May the 22nd, 2025. I just wanted to go into a little bit further on my last video that I just put up there, confronting the situation. I want to talk about a little more about the animals in particular. I'm just going into a little bit on my service dog, Heidi. She's still in training. It's been a long process with her, but she's doing extremely well. And we're working towards her test as a certified service dog right now. So I've talked to her many times about animals over the course of the videos that I've put up, and people have seen them. But I'm also noticing, and I've pulled a few more off the news channels, because people are talking more and more about the working animals, which is exactly what Heidi is. She helps me for my physical problems that I have with walking and my arthritis. So, but I wouldn't recommend people who are not familiar with dogs, do not have experience with dogs, and are not trained with dogs in the same respect to try and do what I just did at the teller machine. Because I've seen a lot of people now starting even to come in with just their pet dogs, because they're getting more afraid of people coming up to the teller machines as well. So it's going to be very interesting as how we're going to resolve the differences between the working animals and the pets. And I've had pets for many years, and I've loved my pets beyond reasonable doubt too, because obviously the pet store industry would not be as profitable as it is because people love their pets. So it's a matter of learning to respect the different animals, and that's just what I want to talk about, was respecting our animals and our working animals. And it's a long haul trying to any kind of a service animal or a working dog, whether it be a police dog, whether it be working for the blind or therapy dogs. It all costs money, time, and training. And it's not only you're training the dogs, you are being trained yourself to train your animal as well. So it's something I don't like to be confronted with, having to put my dog in any kind of a situation, that's for certain. But these animals are also there to protect the person that they're working for. So if you come up to a service dog or any kind of a working dog, and you just suddenly, like I've talked about in other videos, scream in their face or come up behind them and slap them, you're provoking an animal to bite. And that goes for the pet animals too. But it's much worse on the dogs that are working dogs, because this is provoking them. Are you trying to provoke them into aggression? Because none of us want our dogs aggressive. And fortunately, I've been very, very fortunate with Heidi in her training. I've had her since she was 8 weeks old, and I started her off on the right track. But it's been very difficult trying to get her trained in the middle of a pandemic when no trainers are available, as well as even after the pandemic and all these pandemic puppies that came out, and people were just literally crowding us, going after all the trainers. They didn't know what to do with their puppies. And then those, of course, who couldn't handle it all, they just, the shelter suddenly found themselves full. So of these animals after the pandemic, well, it's good enough. You know, I took the dog, I had the dog for the pandemic, but now I can't handle this animal. So that wasn't very fair to the dog. And with Heidi, I just lost my other dog just prior to the pandemic. And I was just waiting for the spring so that I could get another service animal that I could be trained. Another dog I was looking for to be trained as a service dog. So I'm just want to talk a little bit about that today. And I'm going to put up 2 videos that I spotted, and I took them off the news channel, and just to show us some of the different things. But these animals, like on the 2 videos, one is sniffing out mussels. It's because we have invasive species, these mussels coming into our lakes and rivers right now. We have another one, as what Heidi has done, is trained as a therapy animal, and that's for our children in CHEO, which I just want to put this out, and this is one of the things I like to also promote. So I'm promoting this on my channel here. The importance of these working dogs to people who need them. You know, and there's going to be maybe that day, maybe you're young now, but you're not going to be young forever. So not only are these dogs our companions, but they're our partners. They're our working partners. Getting around, exercising. They say, well, you got arthritis, you got to exercise. Well, getting out of bed in the morning, it's like you're stiff as a board. And it's not like when I was 20 years old, okay, I'm just going to jump out of bed and I'm ready to go. It's like I feel more like the Tin Man right now, and relieved if I could have a can of oil just to oil my joints like Judy did in the Wizard of Oz. So what she does is she helps me. She helps me stay on the sidewalk. She helps me with my balance. If I feel like I'm going a little off balance, I can grab onto her. There's so many things, and when I get her further trained, I'm hoping to put another video up on showing her more of what she's capable of doing for me, and she'll also be trained after she gets her certificate, which we're working on now, for my blood sugar levels, because I'm diabetic. So these are very, very important working animals, and I just wanted people to realize that. And if you see on some of the harnesses, it's very clearly marked, do not pet. So do not approach the dog. If you see a service dog, you don't just rush in and want to pat the dog. Same thing, you have to teach children not to rush in on these animals, because it's very important that they learn the rules too. Now, I've had situations where I've had Heidi, and where she's been, just for an example, I was at the seniors show at the EY Center, the 55 plus show, and I was just sitting there at the table. I had just taken a bite. Heidi was lying at my feet, mind you, very nice and quiet, just waiting for me to finish eating. And all of a sudden, I just heard this little old lady scream, "Doggy!" out of the middle of nowhere, and I'm looking in the crowd like, where's this coming from? And I've just taken a bite. And I can't say anything because I don't want to choke at the same time, which could be worse too. And all of a sudden, this little old lady comes running out of the crowd, throws herself on the floor, and as the little old lady's running up, Heidi, who was lying there quietly, just sat up and looked. It was more like incoming. And then the little old lady slid across the floor, threw her arms around the dog, and just hugged the dog. Now, that's not the way to approach any animal. And I'm just so thankful that Heidi has been well trained enough, and she has the temperament to understand, and the intelligence as well, to understand this lady was not hurting her or going to hurt her. It was just a simple thing that happened. And as I explained to the service dog trainer, was absolutely shocked that she didn't bite, she didn't do anything. So I had a good idea that when that homeless man walked up to me at the teller machine, I knew she had the sense to behave herself, but she positioned herself right beside me so that if something happened, you could provoke any one of these type of working dogs. And it's not fair to them to say, oh, they're aggressive, oh, they bit me, I'm going to sue you, and all this crap, because it's your fault, not the dog's fault. But I do have people, and I appreciate when people come up and ask me if it's okay to pet Heidi. And if it's fine with the service dog trainer, when they say, or the service dog person that has the dog, that's fine. But when you come up and pat a dog, you offer the back of your hand so that they can sniff your hand. You don't come running up to them or anything. You just let them sniff the back of your hand. And this is one of the things I saw that was really, really good about Heidi, was that she was very good. So I have had her certified as a therapy dog. And she's going to be certified shortly, I hope, as a full service dog for me. And then she'll be trained to do things like, because I have trouble bending over with my arthritis, simple things like being able to say I dropped my keys, for an example, on the floor, where she'll be able to pick them up and hand them to me to make my life easier. So in a sense, as we talk about care for the elderly, well, this dog and these dogs for the elderly are great because they can do small things. So it's not like having to have a maid or someone come in for these people who come in to care for the elderly. If the animal's right there and can do small things to help us to feel more comfortable in our own home, why not? It's wonderful when they're trained this way. So there's going to be a lot more that I'm going to have to say on and off. I don't want to make this video too long, but I really do want people to learn to respect animals for the capabilities and what they're able to do for us, because they really are. Animals really are man's best friend. Even the dogs, even though we say that to dogs, all animals are, because there's therapy horses, there's other, okay, we have doggy yoga, we have cat yoga, we have a lot of things now that are being recognized in our animals that they're capable of doing for us. And this is a wonderful way of helping our mental health as well, when you want to talk about mental health. So please, that's nothing wrong with wanting to pat the dog, but please ask the person that has the dog in their possession, is it okay if I pat the dog? And if you see a do not pet sign on the harness of the dog, please step back and respect that. And I'm just going to leave it there today, and I'm just going to put up these other 2 videos that I think that are excellent, and I would like people to see as well. Just the importance of these animals, that living in our society today with all the chaos and everything else, the animals are bringing the chaos down. They're helping people. This is what's helping our society right now, is our animals, and they're so extremely important. So please respect our animals. And everyone, have a great day. Take care, be safe, watch your surroundings, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.